for being ineffective against more modernized combative art styles. Fighting styles like Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are usually deemed as being superior.
Boxing is a traditional martial art, so is
Watching movie stars like
Muay Thai.
Donnie Yen, Jet Li. Many of us dreamt of using these moves that we've seen on the big screen against our cousins or maybe even school bullies. So we took up traditional martial art styles like Wing Chun, Hapkido, or Wushu to make use of these moves we saw on the big screen. And maybe it worked for the time being, but when we put our supposed skill against a guy that knew boxing or wrestling, all of those countless forms that we practiced, or the choreography we drilled over and over again, it may have worked against our cousins. But against a guy that knew how to throw an actual punch, or better yet,
an actual punch,
deliver it back to you, what happened? I think the first mistake that traditional
So, okay, let's see.
martial art styles make when wanting to test their abilities against other martial art systems is that they practice their own techniques over and over again against the same people that are taught to be receptive to the drill. You know when a person throws a punch at you in class, and you know the exact timing when
No,
to intercept
you don't.
into the ground. But see, in a real street fight,
No, because karate does kumite, which is... Anyways, so let me... As a real martial artist with my pointy elf hat, looking like a tactical janitor, as a person who does traditional martial arts, I am sick and tired of hearing these supposed MMA kids say that traditional martial arts is obsolete. Let me tell you guys something. I've been doing martial arts since 1993. I've sparred MMA fighters and all this and that. I'm still young enough to whoop a lot of ass. I like sparring. And, don't, kids or whoever is watching this, MMA athletes, don't believe them. I mean, they worship this dude named Joe Rogan, who speaks to the DMT god elves, and his best friend, Eddie Bravo, is some dude that thinks the world is flat. They're midgets. I have a better spinning back kick than Joe Rogan. I can sharpen it in about 3 days. And they're trying to tell you guys that traditional martial arts are obsolete. You guys, I don't even know where to begin with this, man. Besides, look at Conor McGregor, Lyoto Machida, Michael Venom Page, Chuck Liddell was a Kempo karate Oh, but they use wrestling and yeah, karate uses judo. If you guys, I really respect wrestlers and everything, but wrestling and boxing, even Muay Thai, those are traditional martial arts. Wrestling goes back to like beyond, past, going backwards to like Sanskrit, past the gladiator games, the Roman Empire. Boxing, pugilism is about just as old as Colosseum-based sports of the Roman Empire. Ronda Rousey was a judo bronze medalist. You guys, see how big those knuckles are? They didn't come from wrapping my hands, putting on 12-ounce gloves, and doing rounds on the bag. I don't care if you don't believe me. If you live in Southern California and if someone could hold our cell phones, I'd love to get back in shape and spar, guys. My experience with MMA fighters going to different... If you don't believe me, I'll make videos of more bag work. I have a video on this channel of me doing bag work, and I'm old and I'm sloppy and I'm slow, I can get some grainy footage of me obviously know what I'm doing, and I don't really care if no one believes my anecdotal accolades. This old man still likes to spar. I'm just so incentive to do something that, you know, I like working, man. I like working a lot. It happens when you're an adult. And one thing I've noticed with MMA fighters that I've ran into is they don't work. What I mean by that is they don't commit to being employed. What I mean by that is, let me elaborate, okay? MMA fighters. I've gone to a lot of gyms. I'll give you my credentials right here. I'm probably a brown or red belt in karate. And I'm so old that you think that in my day, go YouTube the difference between karate in the 90s and now. In the 90s, they always tell you to have control, respect your opponent, yada yada. In the 90s, the referee, the senseis, the parents, everybody, they didn't complain when your opponent was trying to take your head off. Karate is like jousting with the human body. Look at Michael Venom Page, look at Conor McGregor, look at Lyoto Machida. Nobody controls distance better than karate practitioners. I mean, let me continue. The chasm between different types of MMA fighters have always been like this. Mind you, I've gone to a lot of classes. I've sparred a lot of people. Give me a second. To be honest, I would have liked to have done more sparring than I did. But the people that I sparred were actual people who've been in like Gladiator Challenge, King of the Cage. I'm not going to drop names. If you don't believe me, I don't fucking care. If you don't believe me, you're more than likely some little spectator troll, and you're not going to be able to, they're going to, even if you live near me, you're not going to spar me, fight, whatever you want to fucking call it. And if you're a real fighter, you're going to know that I'm an OG just from the shit I talk about. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. All the MMA fighters I ever ran into two categories, okay? And they're both like people with a lot of fucking leisure time on their hands. One's justifiable. In one case, you'll have maybe some young buck, some younger guy. Maybe he wants to go to the military. Maybe he was a collegiate wrestler. Maybe he wants to go into law enforcement. And he's a hardworking kid. And he does his chores and he does his homework. And he works a part-time job. And guess what? I still whoop his ass. Because those kind of people, they're lucky if they could commit like I'm getting it in. I'm getting training in. Last night, I lost so much sleep because I did some shadow boxing at the YMCA or whatever the fuck for 2 hours before I went back to school and work. I respect that. Then you have the crazy fuckers that I ran in, that I categorize myself as. The people who are fucking weird. So when they're young, they're not really employable. Like the martial artists I've met, do you think that they're like positive, like alpha males and all this, like positive thinkers or like go-getters, ambitious or like witty and funny like Chael Sonnen or Conor McGregor. The martial artists that I knew of, there were some pretty crazy, weird people. There were people that they don't really have a job or they often get fired or laid off because either they're so damn tired from training that it shows in their performance, or they're so like confrontational, or they're so like chip on their shoulder, and they're so like easily offended and paranoid that nobody can really work around or be around those kind of people. These are the kind of guys I knew MMA fighters that like these two guys that were friends, and friend A told friend B to start literally punch him in the face so that when the police come, it looks like the fight that he just got his girlfriend with was mutual. And his girlfriend liked to have the S word, the SEX word. So fucking, the stories he would tell me of their romantic escapades was like serial killer shit, man. This guy had tattoos all over his face, and he went to the service, but he couldn't be a civil servant like a cop or whatever from all the domestic violence issues. And anyways, and his friend that was punching him, he was built like a Greek god and could do flips and cartwheel kicks, and he was living off a disability because his anger issues are so extreme. He's deemed incapable to sit in traffic and work a 9-to-5 job every day. You get the point. And where I came from, we were guys that like didn't really know how to fit in or something, and didn't really have like social conversation skills, and it shows. And we had nothing better to do. I mean, like, even if we tried to do something like go to school, get a good job, we didn't have cars, man, and everything was so far. And like, what I'm trying to say is, we had nothing better to do all day but to drink alcohol, smoke weed, and roll, do grappling, or spar. And some of the other stupid shit we did, by the time I was 22 years old, I count 22 or 24, I had to go to the emergency room 20 times. Everything from a broken bone to a smashed finger to sprains that would swell up so bad that I couldn't walk for like weeks. Stupid shit, man. So what I'm trying to say is, martial artists, traditional martial artists in general, they're pretty mentally fucked up people, man. This is very rare that someone's getting the martial arts because, they're going to be like a military service personnel, and then they're going to be like a cop, or, I mean, like, this is more common with bouncers that get with toxic women and eventually get stabbed. And then you have the other set of martial artists, MMA fighters, that I always tell people, you want a short for sure ticket to being a MMA fighter. This is what you do. You save a bunch of money on your car insurance by switching to living with your mom till you're like 50 years old, so that you can hide it from your exes and not pay child support. Save all that money for like a Dodge Charger, some new face tattoos, maybe a mohawk, definitely human growth hormone and steroids. Then you have a good coach that knows how to cherry pick retarded fighters, that people you're like, somebody like, dude, I'm not trying to pick on mentally disabled persons. Like, I knew some dude that fought another guy that it's like the guy had Down syndrome, man. It's like who's convincing these guys to so you basically have your coach like fill you up full of steroids and your own bullshit hype. Then he picks out freaking Humberto, the GameStop Blockbuster Video, freaking remote controller consultant, and convinces him to get in the ring with your juiced up ass. You utterly destroy him, and then you post pictures on Facebook about how you're a fighter while you're using your airheaded girlfriend's Xbox Live to talk to her sister. Like the Xbox that you got from your airheaded girlfriend for your third birthday this year, and you're better than everybody else and very annoyed in traffic and common people in general that you just spit on because they don't know how it is to get up every day at 1 p.m. in the morning, to get up every morning at 1 p.m. to do squats and eat your protein. Real men eat top ramen and cup of noodles and shit so they can afford to buy their kid Walmart shoes while their chick is driving their car because of alimony and divorce to go F Chad, to go get other dudes' cooties all up in your bed and your home, and having to deal with that shit, working a job that they hate. And you got these MMA fighters who are telling older men like us who can like break ice with their fucking hands and do push-ups on their fucking fingertips, could use like nunchucks and ninja stars and shit. So you got these MMA fighters that need to wrap their hands with 12-ounce gloves to do rounds on the mitts. And you're telling full-grown men, mind you, the first few UFCs, the Gracies purposely didn't put any of the grapplers in there, and they got like the most like, I love the early UFCs. I'm just gonna like leave it there. But so you got these guys with their tight skinny jeans and, you know, whacking off to anime porn and living with their mom, needs to wrap their hands with 12-ounce gloves to hit a punching bag at fitness at Planet Fitness, and has all this leisure time living with mom rent free to do jujitsu every day while working bare minimum and getting buff from unloading trucks at Walmart and Amazon. And they're going to tell my generation that basically wrote the book on all this while they're worshiping their minion lord Joe Rogan, the midget with the back kick, that spinning back kick that's inferior to mine, who talks to the DMT gods and the machine elves with his friend Eddie Bravo about how the world is flat and how Area 51 has aliens telling us that we all need to be unified into one being and consciousness. You have quack jobs like that telling you guys that us traditional martial artists are inferior. When I see Michael Venom Page almost kill somebody, when I see Conor McGregor win championships and Lyoto Machida take out all of Team Quest, and you're gonna say shit like karate doesn't work, you guys, man, you're fucking delusional, man. And again, judo and freaking boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling, those are classical martial arts.